The tragic death of Freddie Mercury, the final goodbye of a legend. Freddie Mercury, the charismatic and talented frontman of Queen, left a musical legacy that remains relevant today. However, his life was marked by a silent battle against a devastating disease, HIV/AIDS. His tragic death on November 24, 1991, shocked the entire world. In this analysis, we will explore the key questions about his life, his illness, and his death, trying to understand the circumstances that surrounded his passing and how his death marked a turning point in the public's awareness of HIV. 1. How and when did Freddie Mercury find out he had HIV? Freddie Mercury was diagnosed with HIV in 1987, but it wasn't until 1991 that his illness became public. For years, he fought silently against the disease, choosing to keep his diagnosis private in order to protect his personal life and public image. The news of his illness only came to light shortly before his death, which caused a great shock, as Freddie had been a symbol of vitality and energy on stage. His decision to keep his health status private also had a profound effect on the way his fans saw him, which later led to an outpouring of love and admiration when he passed away. The decision to keep his diagnosis secret also reflects how public figures, particularly in the 80s and 90s, faced the stigma associated with HIV/AIDS. In a world filled with taboos and misinformation about the virus, Freddie, despite his fame and visibility, chose to protect his privacy. This decision was praised by some as a form of dignity, while others regretted that he hadn't used his platform to raise awareness sooner. His tragic death showed just how difficult it was for even the most powerful stars to talk openly about their struggles during such a sensitive time. 2. What were the first symptoms Freddie experienced due to HIV? Throughout his battle with HIV, Freddie experienced several symptoms that became noticeable in the last years of his life. While he initially tried to maintain a normal lifestyle, over time he began to lose weight and showed signs of weakness. Additionally, he suffered from recurrent infections that are typical in people with compromised immune systems, as was the case with Freddie due to HIV. Despite these symptoms, he kept his condition under wraps and continued to work and perform as much as he could, which only added to the shock when his health dramatically declined. Though they were not apparent in the early years, the symptoms started intensifying toward the end of 1990 and early 1991. During this period, his physical appearance changed significantly, leading some fans and people close to him to begin speculating about his health. The weakening of his body was so evident that many began to question whether he was okay, even though Freddie never publicly commented on his condition. This situation became a major secret in the star's life, and it wasn't until he was gravely ill that the world learned the full truth. 3. Why did Freddie Mercury not make his illness public before his death? Freddie Mercury was very private about his personal life, and his decision not to publicly disclose his battle with HIV/AIDS was partly to protect his image and privacy. In a time when the stigma surrounding HIV was very strong, especially in the entertainment world, Freddie feared that his illness could damage his career and reputation. He had built a larger-than-life persona as a confident, powerful performer, and he didn't want this image to be overshadowed by his illness, which was still largely misunderstood at the time. This silence also reflects how, at that time, society viewed people infected with HIV. There was a great social fear of the virus, and people's perceptions were deeply influenced by misinformation. For Freddie, revealing his illness not only meant exposing his private life, but also opening the door to discrimination. Although over time it was understood that his decision was to protect himself, many of his followers regretted not being able to offer him support in his final years. His silence added to the tragedy, as it was a reminder of how stigmatized and misunderstood the disease was in the public eye. 4. What impact did Freddie Mercury's death have on public awareness of HIV/AIDS? Freddie Mercury's death had a profound impact on the public perception of HIV/AIDS. In 1991, the virus was still seen with fear and taboo, and Freddie's death helped humanize the disease, showing that even the brightest stars were not immune to it. Freddie became an icon not only for his music, but also for his bravery in facing the disease, which led to a significant increase in donations and activism related to HIV/AIDS. His death sparked an outpouring of love and support for the cause, with numerous campaigns and foundations created in his honor. After his death, global awareness campaigns about HIV were launched, and efforts were made to reduce the stigma associated with the disease. Freddie's story, a man of great success who lived his life to the fullest while silently battling the illness, touched the hearts of many people. His passing not only raised awareness about the importance of prevention and research, but also helped more people feel comfortable talking about the virus, breaking taboos and stigmas associated with it. In a way, Freddie's legacy was elevated even further as his passing led to a renewed effort to fight HIV/AIDS on a global scale. 5. What legacy did Freddie Mercury leave after his death? Freddie Mercury left a musical legacy that remains alive today. His vocal ability and unique style ensured his place in music history. Songs like Bohemian Rhapsody, We Are the Champions, and Somebody to Love have become timeless anthems. Despite his premature death, Freddie Mercury remains one of the most influential figures in music history, and his life and legacy continue to inspire new generations. His voice, style, and the unforgettable performances he gave on stage have left an indelible mark on the music world. Through his music, Freddie formed a deep connection with his followers, creating songs that spoke of personal struggles, freedom, and universal human emotions. Additionally, his unique style on stage, with his magnetic presence and overflowing energy, remains a model for today's artists. Although he is no longer with us, the impact Freddie left on the music industry, pop culture, and the fight against HIV/AIDS is just as relevant as it was during his lifetime. He will forever be remembered as a true legend whose influence transcends generations and whose music continues to inspire the world. Freddie Mercury's death was one of the most tragic losses in the music world, but his legacy remains a source of inspiration. What do you think about Freddie's life and death? Do you believe his story changed the public's perception of HIV/AIDS? Leave your opinion in the comments, and if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this. See you in the next video.